I've been saying all season since he got here, he just needs to be aggressive and he needs to be himself. That's not really my job. That's probably on coach to, talk to him and tell him to, take more shots, especially if they're gonna guard me the way they've been guarding. But that's really not my job.
He, of course, is James Harden. Jay seems to be going at his running mate and his coach at the same time there, Embiid.
We'll get into Doc Rivers in a second. This is what I'm not going to take from Joel Embiid. Stop pointing the damn finger, man. Like, have some accountability. You and James Harden did not lead your team last night at all. You guys were returning to the crib. You came out flat in the ball game, and you didn't play with a sense of urgency. So first and foremost, you didn't play well. James needs to play better. I get how we're going to go to the pressure on Doc Rivers, and I get adjustment-wise what was happening last night because there is a part of him that's right, but let the media, let other people say that. You stop saying what Doc Rivers needs to do and focus on your damn self. But if you're asking me what I saw on the court last night, I mean, Nick Nurse is running circles around Doc Rivers. Nick Nurse has spread open the offense, and they were 5 out, driving and literally attacking off threes and off the dribble. So, look, I hear what he's saying, but I'm tired of hearing that from players in general. Just own that you guys came out flat and that you guys need to be better. And I'm telling you right now, we're going to go back to Philly for Game 7. I mean, Toronto's going to get the game at home, and then you're going to come back, and it's going to be a Game 7 scenario and a closeout game for Philadelphia with the pressure on Doc Rivers and the pressure on Joel Embiid with a hurt thumb, Key.
But is he wrong? Is he wrong about Doc? Is he wrong about James Harden? They acquired James Harden. He was supposed to be the missing piece, according to even to you. You once told me, and this is not a slight to you, but you once educated me and told me this could be the most formidable pick and roll tandem that you've ever seen. And we haven't seen any of that, right? I mean, and so when I start to think about that, is he wrong about what he's saying about Doc? Is he wrong what he's saying about James Harden? Take more shots, be the James Harden that we see in the regular season and the one that we remember in Houston taking Golden State down to the wire in Game 7. But that's the guy that we want to see.
But, Key, you and I know how to play this game, man. How you play this game is, hey, do you need more from James Harden? Yeah, we need James Harden to be a superstar.
Well, yeah, of course, when we having a conversation with the media.
Yeah, but why go into a detailed breakdown of bringing it back to Doc Rivers to say, well, you need to ask Doc about that. Doc needs it. Why? You can just make a flat comment if you wanted to dead the subject matter and be like, look, yeah, we need James Harden to be a superstar.
But this may be a.
That's why I said it's happened multiple times now.
That's what I'm saying. This may be the same thing that we've seen in the past, whether it was with the Clippers or last year when they got bounced and Doc was kind of pointing the finger at a few players, including Ben Simmons. So this is just something that happens, it feels like, in Philadelphia or wherever Doc goes, let's say that.
Can I take the same facts that you're presenting or the same idea and put it into the context of a larger story that's kind of pro-Embiid for a second? Sure. Embiid, maybe what we're seeing is the evolution of a champion if it ends up that way. He comes into the league, he's third overall because he's hurt, right? Or else he'd be first. He picks up basketball later in life. He's extremely talented, obviously dedicated, becomes a great player. But the injuries slow him down early. First, he has to figure out a way to overcome that. Then he has to, and part of that is by being in better shape, which the injuries make difficult for him to get in shape, but he figures it out and he does it. Then it's, Shaq and them say, you got to dominate all the time, and then he gets to that place, right? Now you're talking about, okay, but you got to be accountable in a different way. Don't finger point, whatever. Maybe what we're seeing is the next step, maybe he's not there all the way yet, but he's an MVP caliber player, all that kind of stuff in the evolution of a guy who might be champ pretty soon.
But you're having two conversations. The Doc Rivers conversation is by itself. I don't need to hear that from him. Dude averaged 31 and 12. He's in the MVP conversation. He had 20 and 10 last night. I don't care that you have a hurt thumb. He was even passive last night. So my thing is, be aggressive. This is closing time. You're up 3-0. You're at home. So I don't want to hear excuses about, well, you got to ask, Doc about James. No more excuses from anybody. You're in the playoffs now.
Yeah, but
It's time to win.
I hear you. I'm saying, but maybe that is is the next thing for him to
the step in the evolution
integrate.
process.
Yeah, on his way to being a champ. He looks like he's that kind of guy.
But champions don't do this, Max.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Key. That's my whole point.
They don't go.
yeah.
They just don't. Champions don't. They just figure out a way to make it work.
We questioned Coach Budenholzer a lot last year during their championship run. You know who I didn't hear anything from about Coach Bud? Giannis. Exactly my point.
Yeah, maybe I'm saying Embiid, maybe this is the final step in his evolution, the next level of accountability and responsibility. And
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.